Hello and welcome to this special with me, Jonathan. Well, if you are familiar with words like courage, determination, and never say die attitude, then you need to see what my friend Abhijit Singh is about to offer you. Take a look.
Well, where there is a will, there is a way. You might have heard about this saying over and over again. But how many individuals do you actually see implementing the same? Not many, right? So, in our today's special, we show you one individual who's not just implemented this saying, but has made it big just because of his will and his courage. Who are we talking about? What is this story? You need to take a look at this one.
Believe in yourself and half the battle is won. This young boy has a lot of self-belief and determination. Meet Madhusudan, the wheelchair warrior from Bangalore. He is a hero born after overcoming excruciating obstacles. He is a professional wheelchair tennis player. And one you cannot take your eyes off when in action. His forehands are lethal, backhands even deadlier, and his love for tennis has only gone to the next level.
See, if you look at the game, it has, it's not easy as the other game, and it's not tough as the other game. It's like equal. The first time I saw a tennis match was after my accident. So I had gone to a tournament. That's a wheelchair tennis tournament that was held in Bangalore. It was in 2011. So first time I went there, I watched the game, and I felt it's a really good game. And I gave a couple of tries. So I went on 2 weekends to, go try the game. So the first 2 days only, my love towards tennis has, it's increased.
Abled doesn't mean enabled, and being differently abled does not mean less abled. That's what Madhu believes in, and so do people associated with him.
For me, I don't consider myself as a differently abled. So I do all the things whatever a normal person does. I go for trekking, I go for racing. I'm into everything. So I don't consider myself as a differently abled. So in that case, there's no point, it's a curse or a boon. So I love the way I am, and I'm enjoying my life.
An amazing player he is, and in the last 7 years he has blossomed into one of the finest wheelchair tennis players in the country. And there are about 50 wheelchair tennis players in India, and they have hardly any facility to play. And I feel it's time that we should wake up. The state associations in various states should allot some particular time for wheelchair tennis players. It will go a long way, because this boy who is working in a private firm now, and he has made a mark not only in the country, across the globe, and he is in the top 500 in the world today. And last year I did whatever best possible from my side, along with Elvis Joseph, who is also been a mentor for Madhusudan.
After his accident, Madhu discovers his talent for tennis. A boy who can play wheelchair tennis like a pro didn't touch the racket till the age of 13. In fact, he showed no interest in sports. He fell from a moving train in 2008, lost a leg, and then everything changed.
I met with an accident when I was 13 years old. So that was way back in 2008. So I was in 9th standard then. The accident, in one way it was good, in the other way it was bad, because it took away the mobility I had before. The positive thing is that after the accident, I never gave up. I choose to continue my life, and I choose to live happily with the way I am.
Madhu's physical challenges also took a toll on his family life. His father disowned the family and Madhu's pain only increased. The scars were more mental than physical.
So before my accident, we were a very good family of 4 people. So after my accident, my father decided to move on with his life, and he got separated from us, and he's not anymore with us. Even most of our relatives say, I used to tell my mom, why are you taking care of this son? You can put him in any orphanage, they'll take care of you. It's a burden to you. It's not like he's not going to take care of you in future.
Madhu's world was quickly crashing down in front of his own eyes. But the only positive out of this predicament was his mother, Yashodamma.
But my mom had some different ideas. She never gave up on me. She she insisted me to continue my studies first. And then I started preparing for my 10th exams. So in the first attempts I cleared it. And then my mom put me in a hostel for 1 year. That is to learn graphic designing and photography along there. Also I went for tennis coaching classes in that period. And then I got some help from the well-wishers.
When Madhu lost all his confidence, it was Yashodamma who ensured that her son doesn't go the wrong way. Madhu needed a purpose to live, and the purpose was given by his mother.
Yeah, it was a tough journey for my mom. After my father got separated from us, we went through a lot of things, a lot of financial struggle, the mental struggle we had gone through. My mother in particular, she used to work almost like 12 hours in a day to take care of the family. My sister was then studying in 10th standard, and she also used to go and work to financially help my mother. And every time my mom used to come and talk to me, tell me, used to encourage me to pursue my studies.
It has been over a decade since Madhu met with that unfortunate accident. He has made tennis his life. Ambition and passion, success in the sport changed his perspective and also helped him forget the horrific accident.
It used to hurt now, then, till for the last 5 years I'm not feeling any of those things. Okay, everything in my mind is taken off. Nothing is my mind now. So whatever people said, I've proved them wrong. Now they look at me, they come to me, they take selfie with me. All those things have changed now. But to be frank, the first 3 years of my accident was very tough for me to handle and receive the the negativity what I had. Yeah, it was a tough journey. The first 3 years was very tough, and now it's all good.
Tennis not only brought success in Madhu's life, but it also brought mental peace for the 24-year-old. Soon he realized his potential, and the rest, they say, is history. The sport has taught a lot to the 24-year-old.
To be frank, most of my international tournaments ends on a losing thing. So that's lead me to a different perspective. So life doesn't give you, wherever you go, you don't succeed in it. So the initial days you face a lot of failures, and that's what I learned. Even in my personal life, I've lost many things. Like I've not faced success in all the things that I've taken up. So that's what tennis taught me. Even if you lose, take the positives out of it and move on.
There are many wheelchair tennis players in Bangalore, but not many as determined and hungry like Madhu. In fact, he serves as an inspiration for many.
After my accident, I got into tennis and I got an opportunity to travel around the world, meet many people, and whenever I go to travel to different countries, people there come to me, talk to me, and they get inspired. There are a lot of positive things about the accident. The good things are like now that I'm moved on, I'm not thinking about the accident part anymore. So now I'm moving on with my life, and I'm enjoying my life. And now many people in my office also, in my nearby neighbors also, they come talk to me. They share their they say they've been going through a tough patch, and they try to ask me for the suggestion. What do I do to keep myself happy and never think about the negative things. I give some advices to the younger generation of the people also sometimes.
See, any para athlete in the country and for differently able person, he is also an icon in that field, and then it will help people to smile, because people do think that once they are different able, and they feel that nothing is there left in the world, and he is the person who can, as an ambassador, he can bring smile back to them, and then they can show to the world that they are capable of doing in sports field and different disciplines. It's just not tennis I'm talking of, in all disciplines.
Madhu, an international wheelchair tennis player. At 24, Madhusudan has proudly represented India at the international stage. He has the exposure of playing with some of the very best.
Till now, I have taken part in 5 international tournaments. The first one was in 2014. That was in Bangkok. So there, I played both singles and doubles. In the singles, I reached up to semi-finals, and in the finals, I reached up to finals in the doubles. Unfortunately, we lost the finals, with just in the tiebreaker. That too with just 4-point difference. So that was the first tournament I played, and the second one was in Sri Lanka. This was in 2017. So that was in terms of result, that was not a great one because I lost in the first round.
Now that's impressive, Madhu. At this point of time, we will slip into a short break here, but the story of this inspirational figure continues on the other side. Now, every sports person needs a support in his life to overcome challenges. Who is the pillar of strength in Madhusudan's case? It is time to find out.
Relationship with coach and mentor Elvis Joseph. If there is one man who deserves all the credit in shaping Madhu's career, it's Elvis Joseph. He is Madhu's coach, mentor, and to keep it short, a blessing from heaven.
Yeah, Elvis sir is a blessing in my life, and I love him. I love his love towards God. So whatever he does, he loves God, and he keeps me. He always tells me to pray well, and God is there to help us. God will show us the path to the success. So the faithfulness in him, I like the most in him. He has dedicated his portion of time to me to see me succeed in my life. Yeah, he's always positive, so he never talks anything negative. Even when I lose the matches, he comes to me, he talks to me very positively, and he always keeps on motivating me.
Not a single day has gone by in the past 5 years when these two haven't met and discussed the roadmap to success. They discuss about tennis and life, and also possess a common goal.
Yes, every time I go for a training with him, he always tells me that he wants me to see become the #1 in India, and also beat all other players in India and become the #1. So that's what the short-term goal we have set for ourselves. So I think we will achieve that very soon.
Every talented individual and sports person needs that guiding force that takes him to the top of the hill. And in Madhu's case, that guiding force is Elvis, and we have Elvis right next to me. Elvis, thanks a lot for talking to News 9.
Thank you very much.
So starting off with Madhu, do you remember the first time you actually met him and what was your reaction?
The very first time I met with Madhu was way back in end of 2014 and early 2015. I met him at a place called the Association of People with Disability. So it's an organization called APD where he gets his wheelchair done, he gets his prosthetic legs, and that's the very first time when I met with him. And in my entire experience of meeting with paraplegic people, this guy had a very special smile on his face. You know, that's what attracted both of us to have a conversation on the very first time. And I was introduced to him through another common friend of mine at the APD to meet with Madhusudan. And that's where the journey started. And when we started talking, and he had so much of passion towards sport, and that's where the journey started off. His interest, his willingness, that's where it started.
Now you're also a sports person. He is also into sports. He loves tennis, like we saw it today. So was sports if I can say, is the mutual language between you two?
Yes, it's a universal language, sport is, and I think that's where we both got connected as well. And sport has been the very foundation for us to even bond together today. It's taken a good 5 years, almost 5 years for now. It's been a fabulous journey with Madhusudan on this.
Right. So tell us, like you told us that it's the sports that got you connected. His love for tennis, was tennis always his priority? Was it, or like if you can explain in detail the 5 years that you guys have been together, the journey in detail, please.
Madhu is a very multi-talented guy to begin with. His intention and desire was running, and that really shook me when he first said, "Sir, I want to run." And I said, "Guy without 2 legs, and how do you?" And I lied to him. I said, "Yeah, it is possible." And when one of the person who was working on a prosthetic leg some time back, who was doing a research and seeing how it can be made viable for people in sport, generally for people, and we started with Madhu to have him to run with those prosthetic legs. But we were not very successful in that. But the attempt, the willingness what he had, it changed my whole perspective towards sport itself, though me being an athlete, being a former athlete. And today I see that how is this guy has that spirit in him to say, I want to run. That's where it all started. Like I said, he's a multi-talented guy. And he's also been having this passion to play tennis and wheelchair tennis. He's played a couple of matches in the past as well. And then since we failed in having a proper prosthetic legs being given to him, so we started with wheelchair tennis. And also he's also a swimmer. He swims as well. So, but now the focus is completely on wheelchair tennis because we want to have a good player produced for the country.
The major thing which I want to know from your end is, what have you seen from the outside as a coach, what we actually failed to see? If you can shed light on that.
Good, couple of things. One, with regards to wheelchair tennis as such, today India as a country has some amazing potential, whether it's people with ability and disability. Amazing potential and talents. I think that's which will never be nurtured, or maybe it's going to have a different perspective for the country to look at it, especially the sporting fraternity, to see how we're going to build on sport. With Madhu, especially wheelchair tennis, he would be setting a new benchmark for the country, and that's the vision that we have. One, because I've seen the determination that this boy has, the willingness, the power, the ability, saying, I will make it happen. Today we started this journey only with failures. There's never been a success story. From his accident to his challenges of even getting a proper tennis court to play with, getting a racket for him to buy. All it's because tennis is an expensive sport, a very expensive sport.
Your idea of overcoming those challenges, be it financially, be it a sponsorship, what are your plans in future in order to make sure that his love for the sport only goes one way, that is upside?
Between me and Madhu, it is one goal and one vision, is to play for the country. And it's a journey. Now we've marked a 10-year plan. It's a decade plan, because it's going to be very, very difficult in terms of putting up, like you said, financials is one part of it. Today as a country, we don't even have one tennis court in the entire state of Karnataka, one exclusive tennis court for wheelchair players. That's where it's a big shame for the state government.
As an individual, I know you have been his coach, his mentor, his guru, his everything over the past 5 years or so. But what have you as an individual learned from Madhu?
What I have learned is the willingness. He's got the willingness to say, I can do it. When he believes in it, why can't I believe in it? I think it's a very tough learning, because being able, with all the resources, with all the gifts, talent, experiences, still I feel that I'm still challenged in many ways, mentally, emotionally. Like you asked me a question on financial challenges. How do we overcome that? Today it is out there, we have to go sell ourselves to say that, okay, this is what we're doing, this is our product. We are not into marketing, this is a sport. It's a responsibility that we all need to take up. And it's a handful of people who are talented in the country and who's got the willingness and who's got the zeal to make it for the country. Because a 6-gram gold changes a whole country's identity itself. So that's all we are all fighting for. So as the journey, what we very strongly believe and what I have learned is the willingness from Madhu. And that is the very foundation for any individual. You need to have the willingness. If you don't have the willingness, we don't accomplish anything.
Well, belief and will are the two words which separates the men from the boys, the best from the worst. And in case of Madhu and Elvis, their journey has only begun. It's not over yet.
Elvis invests time, money and a lot of energy on Madhu's career. His support to Madhu is unrelenting, and the latter knows what's at stake.
Absolutely. Maybe financially I cannot give him back this investment, but in terms of my performance, if I play well, if I win some tournaments, then of course he'll be a very proud mentor and a coach, and I'll try to definitely make him proud by practicing, working hard and winning more and more tournaments in future.
So what's next for Madhusudan? From the horrific accident to family troubles to becoming a promising wheelchair tennis player, Madhu has already gone through a lot, but he is in no mood to stop.
Not completely, because we are going through a lot of challenges here and there, and in terms of the results also it's not in favor, but not at all not too happy, but I'm satisfied with the way I'm progressing.
Challenges are something which drive Madhu, and the journey has only begun for the 24-year-old.
I want to see myself as a better wheelchair tennis player, competing with the world-class wheelchair tennis players, and I want to see myself representing India at the international events, winning medals, and my aim is to, I'll set my goals high. So I set my goals for Asian Games and Paralympic Games, and I aim the target. That's like I aim for the gold. So of course, 5 years down the line, I'll definitely work hard and try to get gold for India at the Paralympics.
The only disability in life is a bad attitude, but Madhu is full of positive energy and a focus to achieve his goal. He also has a message for those who believe in doubting the differently abled.
In this generation, there are very limited people who look us in a different way. Even when we are walking, they look us in a different way, and they feel pity on us. So what I want to convey them is that we're nowhere, we're not any lesser to them. Whatever they're doing, we are doing. Whatever they're leading their life, we are leading our life on our own, independent. We're not depending on anybody else. So there's no point them looking at us in a different perspective.
There is a famous saying, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Madhu is good at tennis. In fact, he is very good. All he needs is support to achieve his dreams and make India proud.
Challenges either make you or break you. But in Madhu's case, he just refuses to give up. He serves as an inspiration not just for people associated with wheelchair tennis or other sports, but life in general. With camera person Shrikant, this is Abhijit Singh for News 9, Bengaluru.